What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Theta, one of the most undervalued cryptos in the entire crypto space. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. All right, so we're going to start off here on the smaller time frame and work our way up to the bigger picture. So first here on the daily candlesticks, one of the first things I want to show you guys here is a potential inverse head and shoulders. We have a left shoulder here, a head right here, and we're forming a right shoulder as we speak. Now, the inverse head and shoulders is a very high probability pattern. So when you see this pattern, you can be confident that as you break the neckline, which is this level right here, you have a very high statistical probability that you're going to go to the minimum target. Now, what is the minimum target? The minimum target is measuring from the bottom of the head to the top of the neckline. And the best way to do this is to grab the trend line tool and measure from the bottom to the top like that and place it at the point of breakout, and that will give you your minimum target for the inverse head and shoulders. Now, the inverse head and shoulders has a very high statistical success rate, so that means that over 80% of the time you will at least hit this minimum target upon the breakout. It doesn't confirm until you actually break out, but once you do break above that level, about 80% of the time, a little over 80% of the time, you will hit at least the minimum target based on this trading pattern. Now, the minimum target in the short term based on this inverse head and shoulders would be $1.25, which should be the start of a bigger picture reversal. So if we start to break out based on this inverse head and shoulders, then we would start to see a bigger picture reversal taking place, and it would lead to a lot more upside in the short term, as well as the bigger picture here for Theta. So it's one of my favorite patterns. I've seen it a lot in crypto. It's been very profitable, very fun to play, and a very, very successful pattern that you can trust in the crypto markets. The other thing I want to show you guys here is on the 6-hour time frame. We do have bullish divergence on Theta. So we have a lower low in price, but the MACD made a higher low, which is bullish divergence and should lead to a strong reversal off of these lows, which means we should break above that neckline and confirm that inverse head and shoulders and start to reverse here very soon. So be ready for a breakout and a reversal on the daily, as well as a breakout on the 6-hour time frame based on this bullish divergence. Now, if we go to the 5-day candlesticks, we see a perfect ABC correction. So as you guys know, I've been talking a lot about Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash did the same pattern and saw a strong reversal. So I'm expecting the same thing coming for Theta very soon. If we pull up the BCH chart, you guys can see that we did the exact same thing over here on Bitcoin Cash, and we've started to see a strong reversal. So I'm expecting the same type of reversal over here on Theta. So let me pull up the same time frame so we can line these charts up. And as you guys can see, we really have the same ABC correction over here on Bitcoin Cash that is happening currently on Theta. So Bitcoin Cash bottomed out down here, started to see a strong recovery. This is only the start for this coin. I've been bullish on Bitcoin Cash since the bottom down here, based on this ABC correction. And I'm also bullish on Theta currently because I expect the same thing to happen for Theta that already happened over here on Bitcoin Cash. So these ABC corrections are very powerful, very important to be aware of, and definitely something you want to be looking at to be a more successful trader in the cryptocurrency markets. All right, now in the bigger time frame, Theta has to be one of the most undervalued cryptos in the entire space. This coin is ready for some massive growth, a big parabolic run in the big picture, all the way to a new all-time high above our old all-time high over here at $15. I'm expecting some very big moves for Theta in the bigger picture. So let's talk about why that's going to happen. So here in the bigger picture, we also see a huge ABC correction, perfect opportunity to buy Theta down here at dirt cheap prices based on this ABC correction in preparation for a new cycle. If you guys don't know, the zigzag ABC correction has over 70% success rate. So this correction pattern right here, this big zigzag shape that happens over and over again in crypto, has a very high statistical probability, and buying the bottom of these corrections, like currently we're at with Theta, is very lucrative and very profitable. You can see Bitcoin Cash did the exact same thing here with a huge ABC correction over here on the right, the same pattern as Theta is currently doing, and you can start to see how Bitcoin Cash is reversing off of these lows. I expect the same thing coming for Theta. And even more examples of the same pattern would be Bitcoin back in the day, the same ABC zigzag correction over here on the right with Bitcoin coming back all the way down to support. People panic sell, they think it's dead, they give up, and then a whole new bull market starts, and the old all-time high is completely obliterated in a new bull market. So both Bitcoin and Theta look exactly the same, which is why I've said on my X account that Theta is the next Bitcoin. I firmly believe that. It has strong fundamentals. The chart looks amazing, and it's extremely undervalued in the bigger picture. And I expect a big run, just like what we've seen in Bitcoin, in the future for Theta. Another really good example of this zigzag correction is Ethereum over here on the right. As you can see, a huge zigzag correction happened on Ethereum in 2018 before it went parabolic all the way to a new all-time high in 2021. So it's really the same pattern happening over and over again in the crypto markets. It's just different coins doing the same thing at a different time. So once you understand this pattern of human emotion, you buy when people are fearful, like Ethereum over here in 2020, and everybody panic sold during the COVID drop. Right after that, we had a huge parabolic run, as you can see, and that's exactly what I expect for Theta in the near future. In fact, buying Theta right now is pretty much exactly like buying Ethereum in March of 2020 before the 2021 bull market. The only difference being the fact that Theta has a way smaller market cap, so the percentage gains could be astronomically larger than what we saw with Ethereum in 2021. So the smart investors are buying Theta. They're buying it undervalued down here. They're getting ready for a big parabolic run. They're expecting a huge moon to come in this market because they have their head on straight. They're not looking at this as a bad opportunity, but actually as a very, very good opportunity to buy something at dirt cheap prices at 67 cents per coin in preparation for a new all-time high. Even from current price to our old all-time high, you're talking about 22 times in value from current price. So think about how much this could grow even past its old all-time high as Theta becomes adopted, as we start to see another bull run in this coin. The profit potential is absolutely insane. And it's not just crypto that does these ABC corrections. Even silver over here on the right did the exact same pattern that Theta is doing currently. When silver was down here at $12 per ounce, I was posting bullish charts, letting people know I was bullish on silver on my TradingView account for the exact same reason that I'm bullish on Theta right now. And look how much silver has grown since the bottom of that ABC correction. We've seen a huge growth in silver, a big rounded bottom, and we're getting ready to break the old all-time high. It could always pull back a little bit here in the short term like this. Usually you do see little corrections along the way up, but silver is on its way to break above its old all-time high and head all the way to the moon in a massive bullish cycle. That's why it's so important to be able to identify these ABC corrections, because they help you make significant profit in the crypto markets. And without being able to identify those ABC corrections, you are left in the dust, because the market goes parabolic, has huge corrections, and then recovers. And most people get stuck in that cycle, buying the top and selling the bottom, instead of buying the bottom and even holding on if you don't sell the top, because it's going to recover and it's going to go parabolic all the way to the moon. So you have to understand these cycles. You have to understand the ABC correction. And once you do, you start to make money in the crypto markets. So big things are coming for Theta. I'm very excited about this coin. It's extremely undervalued. Definitely one of the most undervalued cryptos in the entire space, and I'm expecting a huge bull market and a very profitable run on this coin. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. I love and appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more, definitely join the school community, link in the description box below, and I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos and future live streams. And as always, stay profitable out there.